It's a 21st century gold rush. Countries around the world are looking to the precious metal to cure their dollar dependence. The main switchers are China and Russia, but Eastern Europe is now joining in. Like many, Slovakia has its gold reserves in the UK, and now former Prime Minister Robert Fico is trying to get it back. Because let's be honest, last time the country trusted its fate with Great Britain, it didn't end so well.
You can hardly trust even the closest allies after the Munich Agreement. I guarantee that if something happens, we won't see a single gram of this gold. Let's do it as quickly as possible.
Fico is at the helm of Slovakia's biggest political party, and he says it's safer to keep the 31 tons of gold in his own country and away from the uncertainty of Brexit. The move isn't his original idea, though. Days earlier, Poland recalled 100 tons of its gold reserves from the Bank of England, and the Polish National Bank was certainly happy about it.
We managed to increase the strategic reserves of gold and take steps to repatriate a large part of Polish gold. By implementing our constitutional, statutory and simply patriotic commitment, we not only build the economic strength of the Polish state, but also create reserves that will safeguard its financial security. This is the global trend, but also the expectation of Polish society.
Other Eastern European countries like Hungary and Serbia began recalling their gold as early as last year. Now, the mainstream media has covered this new gold rush, but what they'd probably like to avoid is admitting that it's getting pretty close to home. Take Germany. It just increased its own gold reserves for the first time in 21 years. Even U.S. economists are admitting the role of this precious metal is quite literally as good as gold.
The question is, what else? That's the environment I think we'll be in. And there's a saying that gold is the only asset you can have that's not somebody else's liability.
The de-dollarization of Eurasia would support Mr. Dallier's worldview. So would a shift to a non-dollar reserve asset such as gold. Such a change would force the US to sell dollars in order to settle its balance of payments in the new neutral reserve asset.
The greenback has been very powerful for a very long time. But if countries continue to look for other reserve standards, it could mean the end for the dollar's golden age.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone. Salutations to the elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson based off a video I was watching while I'm waiting to start doing some things at work. But the RT video you've seen is entitled "More and More Countries Are Beginning to Restore Their Gold Reserve," and more and more countries are ending their dependencies on the U.S. dollar. Why is that? Why is that? Why is all these countries ending their dependencies and not relying on the U.S. dollar anymore, but instead they're buying up all the gold from the reserve? You know, they're redeeming back their gold, so to speak. That's because, you know, America, aka Babylon, is going down the drain. And all the countries that it had, you know, in this trap, all right, in this web, are beginning to draw back. You know, they're beginning to pull back. And that's a beautiful thing to see because, for one, these economists, these worldwide economists, they all know that the U.S. dollar is about to crumble, okay? It's about to crumble. You know, it's no secret. And in place of that, you know, that's why we push the prophecy through the Spirit. With starting with the apostles on down, Apostle Har on down, we push the prophecy of the mark of the beast. Okay? Now, you people that don't have gold, because the average person don't have gold, all right? The average person have dollars. So the rich is pretty much gonna get their gold. They got their gold, so they good when all hell break loose, right? As far as when I say they're good when all hell break loose, I mean they have gold. They have a form of currency. But for you people that depend on a dollar, which is your everyday person, are going to be forced to take that chip. That's why in Revelation it says he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. All right, so that dollar crumbling, what's going to replace that is going to be the chip, and that's all by design. All right, that's all by design. The reason the dollar even came into existence was to put the world in debt, to put you people in debt, and to set up this this RFID chip, this mark of the beast, because it's prophesied. Somebody might ask, well, how was they going to set up the chip or the mark of the beast 300-400 years ago? Well, the prophet spoke about it over 2,000 years ago. That's how. All right. I'm gonna read Jeremiah 51 and I'll start at 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." All right, America's Babylon. Okay? And when it says flee out of her, it's really talking about the elect. It's talking about the elect. Flee out of the ways of Babylon. You know? Flee out of the ways of Babylon. Don't attach yourself to the society because it's going down the drain. All right, Micah 2:10 said, "This is not your rest. All right, arise ye and depart. This is not your rest." So the Lord is going to render a recompense on this place called Babylon, America, all right? On this place called America. Okay? All of that is going to be nothing but ashes. All right, dust. Verse 7 says, "Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that had made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of the wine, therefore the nations are mad." All right, so Babylon being that golden cup, meaning it was a valuable part of, of the Lord's, of his whole play. Okay, it was a valuable part of the Lord's play, and America's value was only to weaken these nations, to chastise and enslave the Israelites for a period of time. But all these nations are drunken, meaning they drank that philosophy, that Kool-Aid. They accepted, Esau's democracy, religion, so-called fiat system currency. All right. So nations are mad at that, man. They're mad. A lot of these nations are pulling back. They're getting their gold back, and that's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful sign. It says, "Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed." All right, Babylon is fallen. Take balm for her. Balm is like how, when these when the U.S. is in some type of a debt crisis, they try to bring a stimulus packet, like I believe it was Obama that did it a few times. Something to boost the economy. So in other words, that balm is something to boost the economy, and there's nothing that's going to boost the economy. All right, everything has an end, and this is the end of Babylon. So it says, "Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed." We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. "Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto the heaven and is lifted up even to the skies." So all these nations are fleeing to their own countries. All right, they did what they had to do. They came here, made money, traded with America, so to speak. Now they going back to their country. All right, these nations are withdrawing. China, Russia are already dealing with gold. And Poland, as you see, is about to redeem all their gold from the UK. And then more and more nations are going to follow the trend. It says, verse 10, "The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power." Okay, let me see another scripture. James 5:1. It says, "Go now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten." All right, now these elites, these Edomites, these top people of this earth, all right, those are the rich men. All right, and everyone that dealt with the dollar, okay, everyone that dealt with the dollar are these rich men. Okay, it says your riches are corrupted. Now this Federal Reserve note is corrupted. Paper money is corrupted. It's supposed to be redeemable by actual tangible gold or silver. So your riches are corrupted. The way the system was established, how the money came about was all corrupted. It says your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as with fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. Your gold and silver is cankered. All right, your gold and silver is cankered. Esau, his system, the way he gotten his gold, the silver, the way he tricked people into debt, all of that is all cankered. Okay? So it says, yeah, heap treasure together for the last days. You know, we in the last days, so all that gold and silver is in the right place, because when this system go down, by the, Most High is sending fire, and the elect is risen up and gathered together all these heathens, that gold and silver is for us. All right, you're gonna build our kingdom with that gold and silver. You know, it says, verse 4, behold, the hire of the labor who have reaped down your fields. Okay, who's that? Edom. All right. It says, which is of you kept back by fraud, that debt system, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. All right. Now, who's crying out? The elect, the men of Israel. You know, we're crying out to the Lord, and the Lord is moving. He's doing things. All right, he's doing things, and all this is prophecy lining up into place. You know, so that's just a quick lesson I just wanted to bring out. So, Lord will, this was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.